So
Right.
how have you been?
I've been well. Apologies for the delay. There was some technical issue from my end.
No problem. Yes, for the first time ever.
I just attended a friend's wedding in Jodhpur, so that was a nice, fun little vacation with close friends. So
Hmm.
I'm feeling incredibly recharged and motivated to be sort of
Married?
just sorry.
Motivated to?
I just get things done basically because I had my short break, so mental reset, and I'm just trying to work hard.
Okay, when did you return?
I came back Monday morning,
Monday. Today is Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Okay, all right. And how's the day so far?
Today, not bad. I had to take my dog for a shower, so that was fun. Scratches
Okay.
all over my shoulders now, but that's okay. But other than that, yeah, got a lot of work done. Had a couple of meetings, and now I'm in the session. What about you?
Yes, it has been good, going well, and I look forward to it.
All
Let's
right.
see how it goes on. Vivyam, today's session is all about, I can say, walking down the memory lane, or we can
Mm-hmm.
say just revisiting this year, 2025, because 2026, it's around the corner, just a heartbeat away, and we haven't even realized how it went.
Oh yeah,
So,
implies.
so today with this session, we'll try to revisit all those bittersweet memories and
Mm-hmm.
let's try to talk about it. Let's discuss it, and I'm sure we'll be able to recollect some good things through this
Yeah,
session.
definitely. Would you like to
Right?
start with some interesting story about 2025? Something that summarizes 2025 for you?
Okay, first of all, let me come back to my home. As of now, I'm close to, like, I'm somewhere in the solar system, although I am, but I want to come back to my home. Let me just see how it can be done. How? Is it okay?
This is completely fine. Yeah.
Okay, no, I don't like this blur thing. What I would like to add here is I didn't even realize how it just went. I mean, it just slipped. It's like just yesterday we were enjoying that New Year's Eve and we are planning this New Year again, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to believe. So that is the only thing that I can say at this time. What
Yeah,
about you?
for me, it's about making New Year's resolutions, about being fitter, about getting more productive at work. And now
Hmm.
suddenly we're in November. Like, hello, what happened?
No, no. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. Yeah.
No, no, I'm saying that that's how I feel because I always make New Year's resolutions and I make myself promises that I'm going to do something or I'm going to get better at something and I'm going to learn another language.
Hmm.
And suddenly we're in November. So we're back to
Hmm.
square one. We're back to remembering that every time we write the date, we have to write a new year at the end.
Again, it will take another 3 months to realize that yes, now you have to write 26 instead of 25.
It takes some time to register in your mind. Yes, I agree with you. I have the same problem.
So that I believe till March that will go on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, if I ask you, if I ask you to just give me one line, how was this year for you? Although it's still going on, but how was this year?
So for me, it was a little transformational. I wouldn't say it was crazy.
Hmm.
But this year, there are a lot of things I've learned from life, from my friendships, from the experiences that I've had the year before that. This year, I focused a lot more on protecting my own peace, setting boundaries with friends or with co-workers, and understanding how my mind and my body reacts to certain situations, right? Whether it's a problem at work, whether it's an argument at home, whether it's some sort of an emergency situation, how do I put myself in the best situation to get the best out of myself or sort of do damage control of any situation at hand? So I think for me, it was more about actualization and this self-realization of what works for me, what makes me feel comfortable, right? How I deal with pressure situations, right? So I think that was quite good for me because helping me realize that I'm in my 30s now and I need to sort of get my act together, right?
Wow.
Mhm.
So was it a kind of emotional whirlwind?
It was, but also at the same time, it was very calm throughout most of the year. But that calmness helped me understand why I freak out in the chaos. I don't know if that makes sense to you, right? When there's
Hmm.
constant noise in the
Hmm.
background, I'll give you an example. If you're driving your car and you're listening to music all the time, like on loud, right? You can't hear the cars screeching or something scratching or something tumbling around. But when the music goes off, you're like, wait a minute, I can hear something. Something feels wrong. I can hear that I need to fix something. So that's what it was. Like this whole year, I've been focusing on, protecting my peace. And that made me realize that when I do talk to some people, when I am in certain situations, I ended up noticing that noise. Hey, I need to fix something here. I need to sort of analyze what works for me and what doesn't work for me in this situation or in this relationship.
Okay. All right.
What about
So
you? Do you have a story to share? It doesn't have to be so deep. It just can be about your whole year.
even I can absolutely relate. I found your thoughts relatable. Why? Because I found a profound shift in my perspective, in my thoughts, in my personality, and in everything. In fact, I can say in my professional journey as well. So there
Hmm.
was a profound shift, and above all, the shift of perspective, the mindset. And I don't know, I was imposed that thing with that thing, or it just happened naturally, but it happened this year. And yes, I can say this is 1 year where I have seen changing myself a lot. So, what you spoke about, like amidst that noise, amidst that chaos, you were able to find that solitude. Was it a solitude? So,
We're getting there, I must say. Can't say you can never say that you're there. I think the whole point is that you're getting closer to something that you're happier with.
yes, I I can't tell you, Divyam, what all I have learned this year. I didn't even realize how it happened. But if I today, when I was not today, every day I get some time to just look back and walk down that lane, and I realize how far I have come. So I feel that I have literally come so far. Most importantly, if I talk about the defining moment, or we can say something that can define this year, I have learned maintaining boundaries, what you talked about,
Mhm.
and number one. And again, the embracing that art of letting go. I didn't realize, but I have learned that art of letting go. I have become fearless.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's the best that happened this year.
Yeah. I think when I went for this wedding, I saw this side of a couple of friends. They are struggling with addiction, struggling with self control in social moments. So when I look at them, I realize that it's fine to sort of be happy with yourself, but it's also very important to keep monitoring how you can grow, because a lot of people think that, okay, I've reached this point, I'm happy, I'm going to live this life. But what they don't understand is, if you're not growing, like a lot of people think that, okay, if I go from zero to I want to go from 0 to 100, right? If I get to 70, I'm happy and I'll stay there. But that's not the case. If you're not going to 71, you're going to 68 or 67. You're always deteriorating in terms of what you learn, how you wire your mind to sort of understand or analyze the things around you, right? You spoke about the shift in your mind, and now that I look at the people around me, I'm like, okay, I need to change that. I need to maybe get people who push me to grow all the time. Like I am curious, I am annoyingly curious. We've spoken about this, but curiosity doesn't always mean learning. Like learning random facts off the internet is not going to help you grow professionally or grow in your relationships. You need to have some sort of a vision or some sort of a goal at the end of the day, and you have to just take one step at a time to get to that destination.
Okay. All right. And as you talked about that addiction thing, may I
Yeah.
know why did you mention that? Because I am able to get something out of it, but I want you to tell me a little bit.
So basically, I am 32 now. Okay. So when I was in school, we I've been living in the same building for, like, I was born and raised in this building, in this society. So we have this inner circle of friends, about 7 or 10 friends, and they had school friends who would join us from the neighboring buildings, like a building just across the street or like 100 meters down the road. So they would come join us and we would play football. So we built a lot of friendships and trust around people who you would hang out with every day for like 5 or 6 years when we were young. And what happened is, once we stopped playing as kids because everyone got busy with work, they got married, they had other things, they moved to different cities to study or to get, jobs. So this wedding was really cool because it was a destination wedding for that whole gang to sort of get together and hang out for 3 days, you know? So it's always fun to meet people for like a couple of hours, like you're meeting them down, you're going for a coffee, you meet them for 3 hours, and that's about it. It's very nice, it's very relaxing, it's very chill. But when you spend time with them for 3 days, there are things that people can't hide. And we had trouble with one of the friends who did join us, who's not in the building. He lives really close. And we saw firsthand that the guy who we thought was a fun uh, person when it comes to alcohol is not that fun when he wakes up at 9 o'clock and he drinks 1 liter of beer just to sort of survive or like whatever, pass the day, right? Because we're there at breakfast having our coffees and orange juice, and he just walks in with a can of beer, and we're like, last night this was fun, but this is a red flag, you know? So what happens is, because a lot of us are married now, right? The dynamic has changed because now we have to be extra cautious about who or how we treat ourselves around that person. We're not kids anymore where we're like, okay, yeah, this is fun, lol, he's just being goofy, now we have to sort of think about our families, and there are so many factors at play when it comes to, okay, let's say he makes a fool of himself or he does something that is not appropriate for a wedding setting. But if you're hanging out with him or hanging around him for 3 days, people might associate you with that behavior, which you don't want to do.
Absolutely. I was about to ask this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we decided to maintain our distance for the last day or two, and it turned out to be right because he ended up
Yep.
uh, in the barat, yeah, on people and stuff. So we were like, anyway,
Okay. All right. Got it. Got
yeah.
it. Okay. All right. And Divyam, if I talk about one defining moment, like brief about that moment, was there any moment that literally gave a good boost to this year?
Um, you're talking about a moment that I can share online.
Okay, if you can.
I have to think of a moment that I am able to publicly share. Um, I wouldn't say, like, I don't have crazy defining moments, right?
Hmm.
I think that is a good and a bad thing about my life, at least, or at least the way I
Hmm.
look at things. I look at a lot of smaller events, and in hindsight, I can sort of link them together or try to understand how I could have done better or how I could have prevented myself from sort of taking that damage, not physical damage, like obviously you get what I'm trying to say. So
Hmm.
for me, there isn't like a nuclear explosion where I'm like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Hmm.
There are a series of small, stubbing your toes on the desk sort of moments, very tiny moments, but When you do it 10, 20 times, you're like, yeah, I think I'm the common denominator here. Maybe I should see what I can do here to sort of mitigate that problem. So again, a lot of people around me and people I talk to also, they're on this NPC mode. NPC is basically like a non-playing character. So if you play any
Hmm.
video game, you are playing as a character and sometimes you have a conversation with like a computer, right? A
Hmm.
computer generated character. So that's an NPC. So what
Hmm.
happens is I notice a lot of people around me and keep telling them don't be an NPC. Basically, it just means you have some sort of programs and ways to function programmed in you by your parents, friends, whatever, your upbringing. And a lot of
Hmm.
people are functioning on autopilot right now. You know, they tell
Hmm.
themselves, oh, I'm taking this 9 to 5 just so I can earn this amount of money and then I'll open my own restaurant. And then suddenly it's been 10 years and they're still stuck at that job. They're miserable. They're, not happy with their relationships in their life, whether it's romantic or friendship, whatever it is. So that is NPC behavior. That's like, don't be on autopilot. Always be on the lookout for the next lesson, for something you can learn, for a way to upskill yourself so you can better your lifestyle or better the way you sort of project yourself into the world and get the things that you deserve. You know,
Hmm.
I know that's not the answer you were looking for, but
What I am thinking here is, do I get to meet with people, such people who think this way? Because I also love to think this, the way what you were talking about, like meeting such people, having growth mindset, having right mindset, and who are willing to do something, and who are not in this mode, NPC mode, what you described. And am I just meeting such people, or people have become like that? I don't know. So
Mhm.
I get to meet such people these days, and I thoroughly love it. I enjoy this company. I love to be in discussion with them. So this is
Mhm.
one thing. And
Yeah.
if I talk about one thing, no, Divyam, one thing I would like to add here. Uh, about 2025, I crossed path with some people, as I mentioned. I I just the change that I was talking about in my perspective, in my personality, the way I think, it's maybe because I am surrounded with such people. I got to meet such people. I got to be in touch with them. And I appreciate, I'm incredibly grateful that I am with them. He constantly motivated me, pushed me to do better, expand my horizons, and it has
To be,
been,
to be your best self, basically.
yes, yeah, a better self with each passing day. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, when we meet our students also, so we come across some amazing souls, right? And they eventually kind of become like our distant family. They love sharing things with us, and we love listening to them. They love listening to us. So this was one, I can say, defining moment. And this has been, means I have been fortunate enough to get such people. And because of them, I got to see that shift in my journey and that rewiring that you were talking about. It
Mm-hmm.
happened. I uh, I actually started my meditation, restarted my journey this year. So, right in the beginning. And it just happened. There was no plan, there was no resolution. It
Mm-hmm.
just happened like that. And it's going really smooth. I am able to see some changes. So, this is one thing. And yeah, immensely grateful. And again, the other thing, when I was thinking what I did this year actually, so it
Mm-hmm.
felt like, first of all, it I told you it just slipped through the fingers. But again, I felt like whole year was spent with YouTube. Thinking about YouTube, recording videos, and then editing, and then uploading. Even if we visit some places, we are like, okay, let's make some videos. It
Yeah.
just went like that. I don't know. It's not good. I know.
Mm-hmm.
But through this platform, I got to meet some good people like you.
Yeah. Thank you. That's really sweet.
Yes. So a lot of good people. So
Yeah.
this is one advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I I could see a drastic change in my professional journey as well.
Mhm.
So that's how things have been.
Right.
And
So, quick question before we leave. I hope you're done. I don't want to interrupt you.
just one bitter memory. If you
You-
have to leave, then no problem.
no, no. I just want to ask you because I'm curious. So, I had recently started my YouTube journey, and this thing that you're telling me that it kind of consumes you, even though it's not a 9 to 5. Your brain rewires itself to say that, oh, how can I get this into a story, or how can I get this to the community? I hate that self, like that side of me. Even though I didn't do it for long, I am going to start back again until I rewire my strategy. But anyway, my question to you is: now that you've been doing it regularly for a year, like you mentioned, uh, your brain is always wired to get content, to spread good information on new learning techniques, building communities, meeting new people, spending time trying to become efficient at recording and editing, trying to get that time release, like minimized, basically, the most efficient way. Now that you look at all of this, right, as a whole, do you think it's worth it?
Yes,
That
yes.
pause was alarming.
No, why? Because why it is alarming? Let me tell you the reason. Vivian, because YouTube, see, so far I haven't got any monetary benefit out of it, being very
Mhm.
honest. No
Yeah.
monetary benefit. Okay. When I started, of course, this was somewhere back of my mind that yeah, some monetary benefit I'll be getting in future. It
Mhm.
took a long time for me, but I never gave up. Why? Because I was doing out of passion, out of my
Yeah.
interest. What we are doing here is not solely for YouTube. It is also because we are getting to know some good things from each
Yeah.
other,
Yeah.
right? And so I enjoy this part. I told you I love being in conversation with people. But if I talk about the time, why is it worth it? Why? Because I saw myself as a new person, as a groomed up person, right? I used
Mhm.
to take sessions. I am taking sessions. There is no change. But the thing is that confidence of constantly being noticed and being in notice, right? Plus dedication. So some people they ask me, how do you maintain that consistency? The only burden that I had this whole year was maintaining that consistency. And I'm sure, Divyam, you might be very well aware that this maintaining that consistency is really hard.
Yeah.
And just to maintain it, I was pressurized sometimes. And but I enjoyed it because that made me disciplined, right? That created a sense of discipline in me. Even today, I had nothing to post, I can say. But yeah, I was like, no, I should not consider it as something that's just going on. No, I should, if I want to do something, I should put my heart and soul to it. This is my character. Whatever I do, I just try to put my heart and soul to it. So I just want to maintain consistency without breaks, without leaving it. And if I tell you one thing, no, what made me realize like this journey was really worth it, just yesterday it happened. Yesterday I
Mhm.
woke up and I shared one thing. Word of the year 2025. Do you know?
Is it Riz?
No, I want to tell you proudly.
Wait, yes. Cloud Riz. Is it like an urban word? Urban dictionary sort of word?
It is chosen by Oxford. And okay, let's not take a lot of time because you have to go. It's rage bait. The word is
Rage?
rage bait.
Oh my God. Yes.
Okay, so yesterday I shared it. See how otherwise I would have forgotten. Just because I shared it, I made that whole little video. I am able to confidently talk about it in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the advantage. So while I was ready to post it, can you believe what I got to see? I just saw no channel with my name, and
You
it
saw?
I
What did you
just
say?
saw no channel, no channel. As soon as I went and opened my YouTube studio, it showed
Okay.
no channel. And
So
what
like
would I?
your channel wasn't available for you to.
Yes, there was
Okay.
no channel. And
Uh-huh.
what would have been my reaction? Can you tell me?
Like you would have raged clearly.
I mean, like a kind of minute heart attack.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like because you work on
That,
something, suddenly it's just not there anymore.
I mean, that made me realize what I have put into it. The heart and soul,
Hmm.
the time, especially like the
I hope
whole
it was an
year.
error though.
For till the afternoon, till 3 p.m., there was nothing. But since I was occupied with sessions, I couldn't get time to figure out what's the problem, what's the error. But then I just went and searched what should I do, and then I had to log in and do something. For that, I had to create one more panel by mistake. So this happened, and that made me realize that yeah, it matters for me because that little minute heart attack that made me realize.
Yeah,
So, Divyam, it has given me a lot. No monetary benefit, being again honest. But other than that, a kind of confidence, some appreciation, meeting some good people,
yeah.
building a small community like that. So, this
I
has been
understand that.
a defining moment.
I hope I can get to that level of dedication and that level of consistency soon. I'm going to start up again. Hopefully, I'll be able
Yes,
to.
of course. I wish you all the best, Divyam, in advance. And I'm sure
Thank
you'll
you.
be able
Thank you. That's very sweet.
And okay, now tell me what was that one bitter memory? Quickly.
I honestly don't have any sort of world shattering moments that happen to me very often. Like I said, my life is just consistently small, small events. Things that happen that are sometimes fun, sometimes annoying, sometimes just downright heartbreaking, but that's about it. Just small moments, that's all.
Okay. So, okay, I don't want to dive deep into it. Some other day we'll be speaking about it. But
Hmm.
you mentioned right in the beginning some lessons from friendships. Did you
Yeah.
men- so did you get some lessons?
Yeah. Basically, I realized that sometimes I work too hard for other people's time or like for other people's, I wouldn't say attention, but more like respect. Like to earn their respect, I do things that I don't usually do. Right.
Hmm.
Luckily, it's not toxic. It's not that level of bad.
Hmm.
But I've realized to lay back a little bit, to just let things play, like let things play themselves out. Like sort of not go out of my way to be like, okay, let's make this happen. And then when nobody replies, I'm the one calling them personally and be like, hey, why didn't you reply? Is everything okay? Are you busy? Did I do something wrong? So I've realized that I just need to sort of be a little bit more relaxed about it, be a little bit more, let things just happen. That's one of the lessons that I have learned in my friendships
Hmm.
at least.
Okay. All right. So
Like
Divyam,
I said, no major events, just tiny, tiny
what
small
did you
events.
say? I couldn't hear. Sorry.
Like I said, no major events. Nothing
Oh,
crazy ever happens to me. Just small, small things that I learn from. That's all.
but I think this year, I can't call it as a roller coaster. I can call it as a roller coaster, but there was that I used that emotional whirlwind. Why? Because 2025, you might have seen a lot of people posting about it. Please go, because there were a lot of things that took place, a lot of incidents
Mm-hmm.
where when we were filled with that grief. One among them is that airplane crash, if you remember. Means after that it felt like now please go, right? So 2 3 more incidents happened, and that's how I called this year not a kind of happy year for everyone. We got some bad news in general, but for you it was like you mentioned small events, nothing big, and
Right.
I'm happy to hear that. So there were many other question, any other point you would like to
No, I
discuss?
just like to say to everybody, um, there are always highs and lows in life, but just focus on your own journey. Focus on making the people around you happy, people you trust, obviously, not strangers and stuff. Don't do things for strangers,
Hmm.
and don't be an NPC.
Okay, all right. So, on that note, let's wrap up this session. I hope
Yes,
you enjoyed this conversation. And
always.
Okay. Hope to see you very soon.